It's Colteastwood. Mag is on his way. Had a crazy problem with the mic, but we will get it sorted out. Let me look here. I'm on a full screen thing and make sure that when he jumps in, yes, he's not. Well, here we go. I'm going to mute that one just in case. Okay. How are you? How is everybody? It's welcome to the new year. Happy New Year. It's 2025. And wow, I look super huge on the screen. This is too much. But welcome. Thank you for being patient as we get into the show. Welcome, everybody. We've got a lot to talk about. We've come into 2025, and yeah, people at my house have all been sick except for me. And so I've kind of like really excited to be back here for your excellency, and it's been a strange time for me gaming. What have you guys all been up to? I have been like just kind of messing around here or there with a few games, and I haven't like really, I don't know. I haven't really sat down to anything because I kind of have played it all at this point that I want to play. But there's some stuff coming up. So we got a pretty good show today. Before we get started, I will, what's up, Eugenia, who's also been in my comment section of YouTube videos. Let's shout out the channel members. I haven't done this in a little while. But we've got the Patreon channel member, I don't know what you call them, the veterans. Where is this thing? I have a whole list of them. There we go. Here we are. I want to give a shout out to the channel members and Patreons who've been with the channel for over 9 months. I need to update this thing. It's been a couple months, but we'll shout out to KY Bob, Assassin Lupa, Jazzy Noob, Jason Lewan, Lord Sin Eater, William Riggs, Farscape, Game Seeker, Tricks for Trey, Pushing Polygons, Hargeet Chani, Decatron, Fellow Knees, Zimic, Kings 5050, Matt Burns, Udana Quezada, Suicide King, Robert Jackson, Dante Moody, Septic Sauce, Center White, B Simcoe, Assassin Entertainment, Hargeet Chani, Raiden Blade, True 77, Risk It for the Biscuit, Micah Ford, Trell Roberts, Pen Pineapple Pen, Meat Puppet, Red Wolf, Jedi J Goalie, Ripin 1, Techno Caveman, Jason Lewans, Fire 71, That Blue Number, Kung Flu Hot Dog, Shooter 2853, Tex Made, VMAC, B Martin, Sith Lord, Good Old Collingwood, KJ Wars 85, Dead Time, Darkwave Mortem, Kings, Justin Duell, Biff Rinaldi, Happy Bomb, Molten Pandora, Pat F, Professor Chaos, Bionic Wolf, Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat, Phantom Beat, Jimmy Cooks, and Power Man 4K. Hey, I did that with only like 2 mistakes, but we appreciate everybody for being here. Welcome to the show. This is episode 182. We are super excited to have 4XP, who is sponsoring the podcast, and we'll be getting into a promo when we get Mag back on here and tell you all about their awesome product. I've been talking to them all throughout the holiday season. How is everybody doing? It seems like everybody's been sick. Everybody's just been like down with the flu or a cold or the new Batwing COVID or whatever it is, but hopefully you guys are all doing really well. I have been messing around with some old games. I'm playing Fallout 76, played a little bit with Game Seeker and Holly and Red from the Renegade Wolf podcast, and I've also been messing around with Assassin's Creed Origins because hopefully I'll have hands-on for Assassin's Creed Shadows soon. But, actually it's been fairly weird talking about gaming lately because a couple of games that I'm really super excited about are coming out next month, being Assassin's Creed Shadows and Avowed. And people are actually jumping onto my preview video from about a month ago. Like they're actually finding it or searching it. Everyone wants to jump onto the Avowed video and say it's woke trash. That has been, it's like, don't you guys play games? I don't know. It's just been an interesting time. I appreciate everybody in the chat. We've got Nerds and Other Legends. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys. Meg jumped into the podcast and we're getting started, and his Discord settings were all jacked up. And it's unfortunate that we sometimes have to use Discord to run shows, but his mic sounded like a razor thin, and we thought maybe we'd help you guys out by not having bad audio. He's resetting everything. He'll come back. So, oh, bro, okay, hold on. I just heard him, and he sounds great. Hold on. You should have said something a long time ago, but you probably didn't want to interrupt my loud mouth. Let me see if I can bring you back here. All right, say something. Let me check the mic.
Sounds
there
nice.
You go. Now
Check
you're back.
one.
There, I got you
My
on
mic
now.
sounds nice. Check 2. My mic sounds nice. Check 3. Oh, you should have seen it. It was an absolute disaster. But you know what? I'm back. I'm here. And let me tell you something, Colteastwood. You're saying everybody's sick. I'm sick, too. I'm sick of all the crap that's going on right now. We're going to talk about it tonight. And, man, it's been a hell of a day. I got to tell you. from 7 a.m. all the way till now, right when when Discord decided to say, by the way, we don't recognize any of your equipment, so therefore none of it's going to work. And I'm like, oh, great, thanks, dude. Right at 7:59 p.m., you decide to, F the dog, so to speak. Anyways, we're here. We're live. Colteastwood is now blurry, but it's okay. We'll get him in there. I also changed my beautiful lighting system, and I no longer look like Lord Voldemort.
Come on.
So, your wand, Lucius.
Potter, you're so blurry. Come on, camera, let's go.
You see, it's the gods are fighting against us, but we're gonna fight back. We're not gonna allow it to happen tonight. You know what? I got a great new line from Alan Rickman.
You do?
From Robin Hood, because I just kind of went down the rabbit hole of like Alan Rickman stuff, and you remember the movie Robin Hood with Kevin Costner back in like 91 or 92, whatever the hell it was? And he played the sheriff of Nottingham. I almost said the sheriff of Rottingham. I was thinking of I'm thinking of Men in Tights. Anyways, he says he goes,
heart out with a spoon.
Yeah, he goes, I will cut out your heart out with a spoon.
He's like, why a spoon, my lord? Why a spoon?
Because it'll hurt more.
He goes, because it's...
You, 7 o'clock. You, 7:45. Bring a friend. Yeah.
He goes, because it's dull, twit. It'll hurt more, you idiot, or whatever. Yeah.
Mogsy, calm down in that chat, okay? What do you think? I can't see what you're saying? By the way, I got a new second screen that's like 8 times the size. So I got this monster second screen here. So I get to look at all your slander face on, folks. So I see Mogsy already starting. Yeah. Okay, Rockstar Randy. No, I'm not. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Great.
Oh, I just splashed.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So what's going on, buddy? What are we talking about today?
I was just telling him I was just kind of piddling around at games. You could tell people what you're playing, and we'll get into the show.
We will get into the show, will we? Well, as promised, as the game Split Fiction is coming out in March, my son and I started playing. We started streaming It Takes Two, because we said, you know what? We're going to finish the first game front to back. Do the entire game or whatever else. We're going to do it live on stream. We did a good chunk of it the other night, a couple nights ago. Great turnout, great views on it. A lot of positivity in there. It was actually one of my higher rated viewed videos. So it was really good to see the community out there. And the great thing is, and this is the thing I wanted to just mention briefly, is that what I'm trying to accomplish here is, besides when I start actually launching my videos, which is very soon, in the next couple of weeks. And what I'm trying to get across here with this live streaming thing is togetherness. And I don't mean just togetherness like with us, like with the community and each other and this and that. I'm also talking about with family and things like that, things that are actually important in this world. And that's what I'm trying to get. Like, I'm trying to get people to do that. And you know what? I'm telling you it's working, because if you go to the comments section or in my DMs or everything, the comments I get from people are, hey, man, this is so awesome. I played this game with my grandson or my granddaughter. I played this game with my son, and we had a blast. I played this with my daughter, or I'm going to go back and I'm going to play this with my son and this and that, whatever. And that's what I'm trying to promote, because at the end of the day, politics, video games, consoles, all this other stuff means nothing. You know what at the end of the day is? Your job means nothing. None of it means anything. All that you have at the end of this world, just brush it all away. All you got left is your family and your friends. That's all you got, and that's all you're going to remember when it's a long time from now. So I'm trying to promote this positivity and just like togetherness with like family and doing stuff like that. I got a new thing coming up with my wife where we're going to be doing live streaming games together. It's going to be called Till Death Do Us Part. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to basically be her and I yelling at each other while we're playing. The first one we're going to play is Space Marine 2 starting next week, folks. So Space Marine 2, I'm going to be playing that with my wife. And let me tell you something. She's a savage with shooters, okay? So she's not a lightweight. So she knows what she's doing. Honey, I didn't mean you're not a lightweight like I mean physically. I mean like you're not a lightweight in the gaming world before she kills me. But anyways, we're going to be doing that. So I've been playing It Takes Two. I'm also on the other side of the world. I've been playing Stellar Blade, collecting all these friggin' cans and other collectibles before I move on, because I got to platinum that. And then, of course, on the other side of the world, once again, I will be playing Space Marine 2 with my wife. So that's what I'm up to. What are you up to, buddy?
Awesome. No, I'm just getting ready for content and gaming avalanche, which starts here in about a week. So yeah, I got a game really early that I'm going to be previewing or reviewing that I just got today. I haven't even started up. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. And everyone's always wondering about the news. We're going to talk about the news. I'll give you an idea of what's on the agenda today because news broke this morning at 6 a.m. U.S. time, around there, that the next Xbox console, Xbox Prime, is coming 2026. We'll dig into that, what it means and what it is and what it isn't. We're also going to talk about Xbox's collaborations, Black Myth Wukong a little bit, Xbox's sandwich RPG problem, which is a crazy report, and a little bit about Developer Direct, which is coming up in a week or two, really fast. So we've got a ton to talk about, and we are really excited to be back here with all of you guys. Thank you. Over 500 of you are watching the show. Hit the like button. We're live on we're Xbox Newscast. We're live on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts on demand if you want to check out the show. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, comment. We're doing a giveaway, but Mag, I thought it would be a great time to talk about the awesome opportunity we have with 4XP Gaming, which tomorrow you're getting like a whole bevy of stuff.
Well, wouldn't you know it? We are back talking about 4XP Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you something. The package is not coming tomorrow. It's coming today, and you know why? Because they already rang the doorbell a little while ago, and I didn't get to the door in time, and I found a little sticker saying, "Sorry, we missed you," and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I looked at the thing. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. My wife's name is Meg, and I thought it said Meg. I go, oh, it's something from my wife. It said Mag, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be me, obviously. So the package had already come, but they took it with them. They don't leave it, like UPS doesn't leave it at the door. Amazon, they don't care. Amazon will like literally football punt it from the truck. Yeah, and then they'll just be like, and here's the snap, and there goes the Mag's package. It's 40 yards in the air, and it's down at the 5. They don't care. UPS will not leave the packages at the door unless you sign for it. Right? At least here they do anyway. So I had to. They took it with them. So now I gotta go up the road and go grab it. So I'm gonna do that. So anyway, 4XP in the house. We're here to talk about it. Listen, there's nothing else that you need out there in this world. We got a new year, new energy, and you know what kind of energy you need? Positive energy. You know what else kind of energy you need? 4XP energy, ladies and gentlemen. Because how in God's green earth are you going to get through 765 AAA titles that are coming out this year alone in 2025? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Every 4 minutes, another AAA game will be released in 2025. And there's only one way you could do that, by not sleeping. And you're going to have to stay focused the entire time. And the only way that you could do that in a healthy manner is through 4XP Gaming. Please go to 4xpgaming.com. Go check out their website. Go check out their materials. The place is up and running. They got the products. They got everything ready to rock. It's ready to go. Let's go. Get out there. Buy the stuff. Try it. It's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to get my hands on it later tonight, and I will be trying it first thing tomorrow at work. So, Colt, let's talk about it, buddy. You got the products already? Can you please tell us anything about it?
Yeah, there's a couple things I wanted to tell you that they wanted you guys to know that they've got B6, B9, B12 vitamins for brain function, new protein building in your nervous system and brain so you can be up and ready to game, stuff for your vision and immune system, and to relieve stress. Check these suckers out. They've got these, hold on, I need to get to this so I can make sure it's all in focus. But yeah, they've got these little packs and you pour them in water, and I've got the shaker here.
Yes.
Check it out. Hold on, get the shine off of it. And you can mix these with water and drink them and give you energy. They're also selling these look at these. Look at this, Smag. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Mike from 4XP Gaming even put the X&C logo on here. Wait, which way would it go like that? Yeah.
No, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so you got like a tumbler that you can order there on their website, and then we are giving away one of these, Mag. It's the variety pack. It gives you all 3 flavors: white gummy, watermelon, and blue raspberry. Blue raspberry is already my favorite. This is the variety pack, and we are giving one of those away. So in the chat during the show, if you write the word variety, we will get you entered in to win. Next week, we'll pick a winner for the variety pack. Special thanks to 4XP for sponsoring this podcast. Let's talk about the news, Mag. Let's kick right into the...
Let's go, baby.
Let's kick right into this Xbox Prime thing. I've got a video almost 2 years ago where I reported that apparently Xbox wants to jump into next generation in 2026. FTC leaks from 2022 say 2028. But Phil Spencer in 2022 to the media said that we're already working on the next generation console. And that's not a mid-gen, it's a full next generation console. So the Ghost of Hope, who is a prominent and trusted leaker when it comes to Call of Duty, his contacts tell him that the next Infinity Ward Call of Duty in 2026 is set to release on the new Xbox console. And Jez Corden spoke up immediately that morning, Mag, and said, nope, not true, not true. Partially not true is the name Prime. Sounds like Jez Corden has a better grasp secretly of what the next Xbox project title is. But what do you think about Xbox Prime in 2026? Is it too early? What's your first impressions there?
I don't see any issue with them releasing new hardware because, as I said before, they're going to continue to release hardware. It's not going to be on the grand scale of, all right, let's pump out 100 million consoles and have this huge thing, and then Bon Jovi's going to do a big show, and then Snoop Dogg is going to be throwing like Xbox Primes out in the air. It's not like they will do that. I'm sure they'll promote it, but it's going to be on a smaller scale because they realize that what's happening now is they're spreading out the options, right, of what they're doing. Like, for example, they've got a lot of Xbox players left Xbox and now we're on PC, right? So you're not technically left, you haven't really left the ecosystem. You've just moved to PC instead. So they're not on the console.
Yeah.
You've got other people that are utilizing the other, like cloud, Amazon Fire Sticks, whatever else. People are using it on their laptops and whatnotteries, right? They're able to access Game Pass and stuff. I can access Game Pass right here on my monitor without having a console. And it said right there. It's funny that you mentioned this. We were talking about this. I looked up at my screen the other day when I turned on the monitor. Nothing. I didn't even turn on a console yet. And there was an advertising on the main screen that said, "Play Indiana Jones and the Great Circle without a console." So it was advertised right on my screen, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know they were doing that. So you now have all these access points. You don't like, and then of course what's happening, you saw the Series X and the Series S are obviously not selling nearly as well as people are expanding where they're actually accessing their Game Pass or whatever they're going to be doing, the ecosystem in general. So what I think is going to happen is it's going to be muted. It'll be a smaller release and just do it as demand demands, essentially. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna supply the demand of what's going to happen, and it's going to continuously do that so that they'll offer new hardware for people who want it, because you're still going to have that 15%. That's the hardcore, right? The 15%, like people in this chat and other shows that are out there, and the people who watch, they will go out and buy that, because if you think about it, between 2020 and 2026, that's 6 years. That's pretty much a generation right there. If you think about the Xbox One PS4 generation, that was 7 years, right? So this isn't that far off the mark if you think about it, because it was 2013 to 2020, right? So this would be 6 years, not the end of the world. And I don't see, and then as technology continuously moves faster, I don't see a need to even wait that long. Like look at like PlayStation did. Every 4 years they're releasing a console, essentially, right? They released a PS5, now a Pro, and then by 28 they're going to release a 6, and then whatever else. So Xbox is going to do the same thing. I think that they'll shorten the gap and just not produce as many, so that the R&D will still cost them a lot of money, but the production money will come down, as they're saying, okay, well, you know what, produce what we need, and then just move from there.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day, like we talked about last week, all they want you to do, and the reason why they're doing this, is that they want you to access their store. That's all that matters to them.
Yeah.
Nothing else means anything, just access the store. And so this is just one more avenue to do so. It's no longer, on the Xbox side of things, it's no longer just, here's the console, that's it, everybody go buy it, and that's the only way you're going to be able to play these games. I just mentioned it 3 minutes ago. I could play Indiana Jones on my monitor with no console.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
It's so funny. That was the news that Xbox officially broke an hour after this Xbox Prime thing. They're like, now you can bring Xbox Cloud Gaming to LG TVs. So it's
okay, so they're not going to produce. I don't think they're going to continue to produce hardware. They said so. We said so. So this comes as no surprise to me. It's not like it offends me. I'm like, oh, this is a stupid idea. I don't think it's a stupid idea at all, because new technology is better for all of us at the end of the day, right? It is an option for you to have. It's just like a new car. You look at a car and go, whoa, why does Tesla have to make a car every year? Because people want upgraded material. And so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to talk about that technology, because I think everybody likes to get super excited about new tech. And people like buying
Sure.
new things. A lot of people are saying, like, why would you buy a new Xbox in 2026 or even 2028 when all their games are on PlayStation? There's a lot to unpack there, but the technology of a new console for Xbox in 2026, around the same time that we would expect Valve and Lenovo or Dell or Samsung to make their own hybrid console PC, we think, Meg and I think, that this console will be a hybrid of some sorts. It'll be a traditional console, but it'll also have access to PC games. It'll be more PC-like than ever before, which consoles are right now. So one of the big concerns that people have, Meg, is that the PS5 Pro just came out in 2024, and 2 years later, Xbox would come out with a more powerful console that beats the PS5 Pro, and then PS6 would come out 2 years after that and beat the Xbox Prime.
Right.
I don't
It's always, yeah.
I don't actually think it's going to work just like that. When we look at the PS5 Pro, it is marginally better in most ways than the PS5, which means not a knock at the PS5, because this is how good hardware is getting. When you have a certain set of hardware for a certain amount of money, you're getting diminishing returns when you spend more money. Gaz Septic Sauce said today, Mag, that the 5090 is going to crap all over Xbox Prime in 2026. I'm like, well, I mean, it's a $2,800 GPU and a $1,000 PC with a, with an
Yeah, I know.
or $2,000 PC with all that. So the concept of looking forward into the future and having mind-blowing, mind-bending, fourth-dimensional power is really diminished with Moore's Law, where we're going to see less and less a concentration on native resolution and native frame rate. Right now, frame gen is not that great, but this stuff only gets exponentially better. So I think the reality is, when we see the next set of consoles, or the next console hybrid, or the next PS6, that will look at the numbers and go, what? What? I mean, that's why people thought that the PS5 Pro was going to be 33 teraflops, because they're like, this is what we expect in a stair step of consoles, but that's not the reality. And I don't know. That's a lot to cover. Sorry, Meg.
No. It's fine. What I was going to say is, I think that what you're going to find, I don't know if it's going to be an arms race that's going to continue to go, all right, this is more powerful. Now this is more powerful. Now that's more powerful. I'm not really sure that's entirely going to happen. I think it's going to be coupled with AI technology in order to keep the costs down, because they're going to have to have some kind of cloud integration with the hardware, and all of that's going to be controlled from AI and machine learning and all that other nonsense, and the PSSR and everything else that's going on out there, right? And it's only going to get better over time. But the thing is, in order to do that, you're going to have to keep the costs down, because they know that at the end of the day, the average console consumer, who is already bitching about a $700 console, but you've got guys out there who are buying $2,800 US video cards, which, by the way, translates to Canadian about $3,700. You can't tell me that a console gamer is not going to buy a console for well over $1,000. And so that's going to happen too, because I could tell you this, and I know you know this, and I know this, and I'm sure most of the chat knows this, is that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo are done losing money on hardware. They've realized that, and you know who opened the door to that? Apple. Apple opened the door to that and basically screwed every consumer on the planet, because they said, no, we're not losing a dollar on this. We're charging this, and you're going to bend over and you're going to take it with a big smile on your face. And that's exactly what they did. And so Sony looked at that, and Microsoft looked at that, and Nintendo looked at that and said, well, if they can do it, why can't we do it? And that's what they started to do. And that's why you're seeing these, not only the fact that the incremental technology is getting better, but it's also getting more expensive. However, They're also done, like I said, they're also done with losing money. So even if they break even, they'll break even, but they ain't going to lose money on the hardware anymore. Now, the thing is, if you're not going to lose money on the hardware and the tech's getting more expensive, where do you draw the line, Colteastwood?
Yeah, how much is this next console, Mag?
Right.
For Xbox, what's your guess?
I don't think that this new Xbox console is going to be that much more powerful than the PS5. I think it's going to use a lot more of the AI tech that they already are implementing, and they spent $80 billion to purchase. So I think that it'll cost around between $700 and $750, maybe $800.
Sure. Okay. That's
right?
fair enough.
Now, the thing is, at the end of the day, you still have that 12 to 15% hardcore who will happily buy it. You know what I mean? They'll go, well, maybe not the 15%, but certainly let's say 5 to 8% of the 15% of the hardcore will go out and buy it day one. You'll have people taking the pictures on Twitter, with it sitting in the with the seatbelt on it in the car, and and putting the thumbs up while the wife is crying in the back or whatever, right? They're gonna have all those pictures
while
on
she's
Twitter.
riding in the trunk.
Yeah, while she's riding.
Don't
in the
even
trunk.
look at it.
Yeah. Don't look at Prime. Yeah. The AllSpark. That's what, what? The Xbox Prime is actually going to be powered by the AllSpark, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
The dark energy.
Inside scoop. That's right. Optimus Prime will hand deliver it, by the way, to your house. And you go, here's your Xbox Prime, powered by the AllSpark.
So who was it in the chat that says, hail the almighty Magatron and the Colteastwood Prime? Yeah.
Colteastwood Prime. Yeah. So that's I could see it being between $700 and $800. Now, the thing is, let's just say it starts getting out of control here. Then all of a sudden the PS6 comes out, right? And now you're like, wow, it's going to be better than the Xbox Prime. Well, now what are you going to do? You can charge $800 now to $900 now? Where does it end?
I mean, right? Every time a console comes out a year or two later, it's better than the other one. I mean, just
generally speaking. But I think at some point they're going to come to a stagnation in technology, in the physical technology, and then that's where the AI technology is going to take over so that they keep people buying the product at a reasonable price because they want you to spend all the money in the store. It's no different than paying $5 for a buffet at the casino because they don't care that they're losing money on the buffet. They want you in the casino, right? It's the same. They want you in the Xbox store.
It's the hot dog Costco
PlayStation
effect.
Store. Exactly. Thank you. They want you in the store. And that means Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo.
Can we talk about that for a minute? And this is going to sound like serious damage control. And I figured when I thought about this today that you might eat it up a little bit. But
whatever, Colteastwood.
Cope, bro. Cope and Seed.
That's it, man. This is Cope NC, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Cope NC podcast.
Copeastwood.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, you get the reports about console sales, and a lot of people say, why is Xbox even trying? They're dead on arrival. This next Xbox Prime is DOA. It'll never sell. It's no way it's going to sell over 25 million in its generation. And probably, I mean, I've told you many times that Phil was quoted saying that consoles are an easy 30 million customers. Like people, and what I want to bring up this point is like, why do people buy an Xbox? Who's going to buy this is the question, is what I'm trying to get at. And here's your answer. Millions. Dozens of millions or 10 to 20 or 30 million are going to buy this, which is so insane, Mag, because here's the part you're going to love. You don't need an Xbox. It's not required, but people are still buying them. Millions and millions of people are still buying a console that is not necessary. So here's the part you love. I looked up the absolute insanity of the way that people look at sales for Xbox. Point being, the food analogy. You're going to love this. People always say, why do they even try? Like they're so far behind the PlayStation because the sales figures last month puts PlayStation at 5-1 over the Xbox last month in the MPD sales. Okay. Yep. Or worldwide sales.
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. So my thing that I'm finally getting to you, Mag, is that imagine having the same energy for Burger King. I know it's always it's a meme to do the food analogy, but I looked up the numbers. And if you wanted to treat Xbox like Burger King and say that Burger King should just close up, why even try? All their products should go to McDonald's. They should just leave the business because they're getting decimated by McDonald's. McDonald's has them over a barrel 4 times in revenue every year. So there are 4 times as many people spending 4 times as much money at McDonald's over Burger King. But Burger King's sitting there going, yeah, we'll never be McDonald's, but we're still making tons of money. That's kind of, Matt Piscatella just said, what the wars are over. Exclusivity is going away.
Did he say that on Blue Sky?
He did.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I just want to make sure he said it on. I just want to make sure he said it on Blue Sky. Yes. Sorry, I just wanted to reiterate that. Carry on.
Facts NC. Burger King has a Whopper, an actual exclusive, which is the better burger. What do you think about this, Mag? About the Xbox doesn't need. Why do we even need them and the sales and all that? Like, what's your take on this?
I don't care about how much money they make because this is Microsoft. I don't like them as a corporation. I deal with them, but I do not like them. However, what I like, with Xbox, this is important here, is that you are going to continue to make a lot of money, and that's what they're going to do. That's why they're not going to ever go away. We said this months ago. We said this last year. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to continue to make a lot of money. They're not going to make PlayStation money. They're not going to make Nintendo money. When Nintendo launches this Switch 2, they're going to decimate the competition because when Nintendo sells an exclusive, they sell 45 million copies, not 3 or 1 or 5 or 10. They'll send or 12. They'll send 40, 45, sometimes 50, 60, whatever. The thing is that Xbox will continue to make money, and as a division, I'm not talking about Microsoft, Xbox. And as a result, this is great for the consumer, and I'll tell you why. Because part of their business plan is not only to have the people who want to continue in the Xbox ecosystem, play the games on the Xbox ecosystem, whether that's on PC or an actual dedicated hardware box. It's also going to actually behoove everybody to support this and support the third-party stuff as well, because they know that if they make crappy products, and I mean by what I mean products, I mean their software. If they make crappy software, no one's going to buy it on PlayStation, right? Because they're going to say, oh, well, there's another dud over from Xbox. I'm not buying that when it comes to the PlayStation. Well, for a PlayStation player, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to spend $70 on whatever, fill in the blank. So they have to make sure that their games are actually great quality. And that's a great thing and like I said, that's a win-win for Xbox gamers. How funny is that when you think about it? When you have great games going over to PlayStation, that actually is better for you. And the reason why is because your ecosystem is still going to stay there. It ain't going anywhere. So you'll still have your Game Pass. You'll still have your console if you want console. You'll still be able to access your library that you paid or you put all your years into and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, Microsoft knows damn well that their games have to be top quality. Otherwise, people on PlayStation are not going to spend $70 to buy them. So then that extra development time and all the extra effort and everything that has to go to become basically a third-party publisher on top of what they're doing with the Xbox ecosystem, it behooves them. Sorry, I'm going to use that twice in one sentence. It's going to behoove them to make sure that they're top quality games. So who benefits from that? You do. Because you're gonna get access to those quality games on Game Pass. PlayStation players, like PlayStation only players, will also be able to get to play those excellent quality games, except they're going to have to pay for it, which is fine as well. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you consume it, from their eyes, as long as you're consuming it. So this is a win-win in that respect. So I think that's a great thing, and that, like I said, that only benefits people who continue to support that ecosystem. I think it's fine. I have no problem where you decide to play your games and how you decide to do it. That's entirely up to you. Whatever makes you happy, do it. Go for it. Have fun. No one's stopping you. Anybody trying to stop you or trying to change your mind that's not a positive and a good way to look at things. Just enjoy yourself and have fun. You shouldn't worry about this and that. As long as the ecosystems are healthy, making money, that's all that should matter. And the games are good.
The games have to be good.
I was going to get to that. That's what I'm saying, dude. But if you made Indiana Jones and it was a complete failure, right? Let's just say it was a 3 out of 10, okay? It was a 41 on Metacritic or whatever. It's a complete failure. Would anybody spend $70 on PlayStation to play it? No, they wouldn't. But because it scored really well and it's a quality game, what is it, 86, 87 on Meta, this and that, whatever?
Yeah.
People will go buy that. Call of Duty, that's not even in the equation because that's always going to be out there. But like Indiana Jones is one that people will buy. They'll say, "Hey, I've heard all this great buzz. I saw that Skill Up did a great review on it. He strongly recommends it. Blah 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 blah." People are going to watch that, and if they don't have access to Xbox, they're going to go buy that on PlayStation. That's what Microsoft wants. So they're going to go back and put pressure on the studios and go say, "Guys, listen, man, I need that Nintendo seal of approval on every game that's coming out because if we're sending it over to PlayStation." If it comes anything under a 75 to 80 on the Meta, that's not good enough because people will not pay full price for that game.
They didn't throw Redfall over there. That's what's going to happen.
No, but I'm saying move because that wasn't part of Project Latitude yet. Latitude happened about 6 months later. But like Doom: The Dark Ages, I mean, let's face it, the other two Doom games were absolutely stellar. So you could pretty much guarantee that this is going to be an 85 to 90 Meta guaranteed, right?
Oh,
and so that being the case, everybody on PlayStation is going to buy that at $70, right?
Unfortunately, Doom isn't like a massive juggernaut of a seller. It's sold 3 million worldwide, and it was
Still-
Game of the Year contender.
That's still pretty good though, man. But
Yeah.
now look what you're doing. You've got it on Game Pass. You've got it on PC. You've got it on. Now you're gonna have it on PlayStation. I mean, that opens some doors. I mean, I understand the last ones were multi-platform, but I don't know. They get a great marketing push, and it's a great game, and it's a great quality game, and it scores really well. It's going to do very well. So I'm telling you, Microsoft is going to put more pressure on them, on their own studios, to make sure the quality games to send over there. And like I said, who does that benefit? You. It benefits you, the Xbox gamer.
I mean, they have to be quality for their survival, and then they have to be good games. And what happened where people were more concerned about who gets to play the games or whose console plastic sells the most number of units over if the games are really, really good. And we're coming up on Developer Direct, which we'll talk about later on the show. And people are like, oh, it's kind of, some people said it's hard to get excited about Developer Direct knowing those games are going to PlayStation. I was like,
but who cares? I don't understand. How does that affect you, though? How does that affect, like, for example, let me ask a question. Like, if you're going to play Avowed, and I'm going to look at, NC in the chat saying that's cope, Mag. EA, Ubisoft, etc. shovel out crap for PS5 all the time. No, they shovel out crap for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big difference. But the thing is, they're not. What I'm saying is, as if you're not quite understanding what I'm saying, is that clearly not. Is that it benefits you as a gamer to have the studio, the Xbox Game Studios and the rest of them that are under that umbrella, to have extra pressure on them to produce quality games. It only benefits you in the end, because no one's going to buy a 65 meta Xbox game on PlayStation. They're going to buy an 85 to 90 or a 90 and above or whatever. They will pay for that. Forza Horizon 5, I can guarantee you people will pay full price for that.
Yeah.
All right. What was it? 92, 93 Metacritic. They'll pay for that.
Yeah.
But
and I also
you
think
don't have to.
The Game Pass caliber discussion hasn't really been brought up lately, because I think Xbox is far beyond the assumption that they're just going to put out something that's cheap and easy to make because it's on Game Pass. That's been debunked so many times. These games are bigger than ever. Now, let me read some of these super chats.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Lotus Esprit, for gifting 10 channel memberships. Thank you so much for doing that. Meat Puppet says, does Xbox deliver this year, or do they drop the ball? I mean,
no, they'll deliver.
They'll deliver. Chris
You
Williams,
mean like in terms of like meta scores and stuff? I think they'll do fine. I think they'll do just fine. The games look great.
I mean, they have been delivering. There's just been, everybody has a couple of what the crap games. Everybody does. I wanted to say this before I forget. Like, some people were saying, like, it's hard to get excited because Xbox just about these are the games that only you can have. And I know that really works within the confines of I want to be able to tell those guys over there that they don't get those games. But people tried to compare it, Mag, to like EA or Ubisoft's showcase events. It's like, oh, it's not that exciting because, those games are everywhere. It's like, no, that's not why you're not excited about Ubisoft's event. You don't like all of Ubisoft's games, and they only show a few games. Like, Xbox is going to show you 30 to 50 games in a showcase event in the summer. So it's a much bigger deal. PlayStation will show you 30 plus games in a showcase. That's why those games garner so many viewers, because they are the platform representatives, and they show far more games. There's somebody else's, and yes.
Can I ask a question? Let me ask a question. This is just, and this is not a hypothetical. This is going to happen. So when it does happen, what I'm trying to understand here, wrap my head around, is that, like, let's say when Gears E-Day or something else along those lines come out, and it comes out day one for everybody. Okay. Or let's say Doom: The Dark Ages. Okay.
I'm not sure if it will, but okay.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, it does.
Okay.
Okay. If you're sitting at home and you're playing with all your friends on your Xbox or your PC or whatever, in the Xbox ecosystem, you're playing with all your friends or whatever, and there's a bunch of people that you don't even know their names, but they're all playing on PlayStation. How the hell does that affect you at all?
I mean, if you're
like,
on
how does
social
that
media,
affect you at all? The only thing that affects you is the price.
Yeah.
The only thing that affects you is the price, is that you're only paying for a subscription while they're paying full price. So wouldn't that actually make you, like, just happy that you've got access to that service and you could still do all that there and then not worry about what the other people are doing? I mean, I don't sit at home lying in bed wondering about the guy who bought a Tesla Roadster up the road, and I'm going, where does he have access to that? No, I don't. That's just the way of the world. I don't know.
I think some of that is going to kind of fizzle out. like just kind
I
of
hope
off
so.
gas after a while. Because, you know, you and I have been doing this for a year, talking about this multi-platform approach, and we've gone through the 5 stages, and we've been fairly reasonable for months and months. And I just hear it sometimes. Like, I put up this graphic I made this morning of all of the Xbox franchises, and I really like it. It's a really cool looking graphic. It shows all these franchises, characters that Xbox owns. And then half of the comments are like, they're going to be on PlayStation. It's just smooth brain stuff. It's just smooth brains. Let me get to these supers here. We got Chris Williams. Thank you so much for the 2. Says, congrats, Mag, on the JT News Freedom number 51st state.
Yes. And actually, I'm going to use this as a platform now to announce I'm running for Emperor of Canada, not Prime Minister, Emperor of Canada. The first thing I will be reintroducing is Prima Nocte, which will be carried out by me personally for all new marriages. But I also have to handpick them because, you know, there's... Anyways, yeah, I'll be doing that. That's my first thing. Second thing, we will not become the 51st state because, well, maybe we will. But as long as we get to keep our health care, you guys, I'll gladly put up my American flag. It's already hanging. I already got one anyway. I got a cowboy hat. I'm ready to rock anyway, so I'm good to go. And plus, I'm half American. Let's face it. So my dad's American. Okay. So yeah, so it's all good. But you know, big ups to the Bronx. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, JT is gone, and that leaves room for myself to take over. I look forward to working with the Trump administration in the next 4 years. And
are you gonna have one
Emperor
of those like
Canada.
collars that goes up to here when you become Supreme Emperor?
Yes,
like
yes,
like a Megamind.
Yeah, like Megamind, or like even that guy from, I can't remember his name, the guy from Flash Gordon with the huge collar.
Ming.
Yeah, Ming. I'm going to be like Emperor Ming. It's going to be Emperor Mag.
We are so old. Like, we're literally referencing stuff from like 1981 or whatever that was.
Hey, man, it is.
You
what
know
it
who did
is,
the
baby.
soundtrack on that?
Yeah, Queen.
That's how old we are. That blue number, thank you so much for the $5. Says, Colt, tell us how amazing BioShock is in 2025. Happy New Year, chat. Thank you so much, that blue number. BioShock is incredible. I've been playing a little bit of BioShock 1 and a lot of BioShock Infinite, and what is it?
Best one in the series.
11 years old. And it holds up wonderfully. The shooting's incredible because you can aim down sights while you're like left bumper to throw out a power if you set it up that way. Oh gosh.
Hot take. Hot take.
Yeah.
BioShock Infinite was the best in the series.
I agree. That's my hot take as well.
Because I know everybody says part 1 with the big, you know, with the big lumbering guys, whatever they're called,
big
and like
daddies.
the underwater, big daddies and the underwater stuff, which is really cool. I did not like BioShock 2. I thought it was a real letdown compared to part 1. But BioShock Infinite brought it to a new level, no pun intended, as it was like the floating city and stuff. Yeah. What an ingenious concept, and I absolutely adored that game.
Yeah, the whole story arc too is like constantly like just building and building. It's incredible, and I'm
wonderful game.
The rumor is that Judas from Ken Levine, which is BioShock in Space, is coming out in March. I can't believe it because we haven't seen a release date yet, but
not a chance. Not a chance.
But
we haven't even seen a screenshot.
Well, no, there's gameplay. There is about 30 seconds total of gameplay.
Levine's game. Sorry, my bad. I thought you meant the new BioShock. I'm like, dude,
if it was March, we would have a release date by now, but they must be.
I misheard you. My apologies. Yeah,
that's okay. If you remember, we talked about last week. Judas is BioShock. How BioShock Infinite takes you to the clouds. Judas takes you to interstellar travel to Alpha Centauri.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Sorry.
So thank you, that blue number. She actually gifted me the BioShock collection. So
why have you never played them before?
I have, but I wanted to play them on PC, and
okay.
You can't record them on Xbox because
what do you mean?
Take-Two or 2K? 2K disabled screenshots and game recording on console version. I don't know if it's on PlayStation, but on Xbox you cannot capture anything. It's been removed, and I think they did that because they didn't want people sharing stuff and spoiling the story. It's like they did that on the remaster. It's like, but the game's already whatever. So, KJ War says, "What's up? Tomorrow's my birthday with the ice cream emoji.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Yes.
How old are you turning? Tell us in the chat. How old you're turning.
I'm looking at the picture. He's turning 32. is what my guess is.
You like hot fudge sundaes? All right.
We got to get him a nice hot fudge sundae for wow, that sounded grosser than it was. It's a nice hot fudge sundae for his birthday. Let's do that, everybody. Or maybe a nice steaming
hot
slice lasagna?
of
That's my
lasagna.
favorite.
There you
You
go,
want a
baby.
nice steaming hot fudge sundae?
Or maybe a strawberry milkshake.
Head fireman. Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat, thank you so much for the Australian $5 super. Says, apparently it's called Xbox Prime. It transforms into a place.
That's just like Xbox. They transformed into a third-party publisher.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
my
what are you
gosh.
going to say? What are you going to do? What are you
Yeah.
going to do? What are you
Phase
going to do?
23
Grandpa
Brooklyn, New
Barbecue.
York.
There you go, Grandpa Barbecue. That was good, buddy. That was good.
That was good. Phase 23 Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for the $2 super. Says, I want to hear Colt talk about power again. I mean, I always talk about it here or there, but like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't know. I mean, Digital Foundry's saying it too, Mag. Like, none of this native resolution and teraflops crap is going to matter.
You know, it's funny. I don't care about any of it. And people ask me
I
all
know
the
you
time,
don't.
and I'm like, "Well, what do you think about this and that, and whatever, and the PS5 Pro and the Xbox and this and that and the beep and the bop and the boop." And I'm like, "Listen, I don't care. As long as the games run well, play well, and look fantastic, I don't care. I don't watch Digital Foundry. I have watched them. It is not my jam. I'm not going to downplay anything that they do. It's just not something I'm interested in because to me, my personal opinion, this is just a personal opinion, I feel that what they do kind of, from my angle, kind of takes the fun out of like, you know what I mean? It's like you're putting too much under a microscope. Like, I'm not a tech nerd. So for me, this is not fun. I understand for tech nerds, it's very fun. I'm just a nerd. And I just want to play and have fun and talk about explosions and who killed who and who threw who in front of the train tracks during this scene of this game and this and that and all the fun stuff. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. You know what I'm saying? I just want to eat it on a bun
watch that
with
stuff,
some hot mustard and sauerkraut.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
you don't have to watch Digital Foundry, Mag, and you don't. But
I
you
don't.
have to see it
I have
propped
before.
up. You have to see
But
it
I don't like
propped
people
up.
arguing about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People are arguing about power and this and that. And no, it's 87 teraflops. No, it's 33. But this guy said it was going to be 167 teraflops. Like, who cares? Are you playing that? You know what you're playing? Games. Play good games. Play fun games. Have a great time with your friends. Have a great time by yourself. Have a great time with your family and your friends and this and your wives and your children and this and that. Playing video games. Don't worry about this and that, whatever. They got to perform, though. That's the only thing. At the end of the day, I'm not going to play 30 FPS games. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to play 60 and above. But that's just, I'm not being a snob. That's what I see now because the rest of it looks like I'm doing strobe light dancing in the 1980s dance club when I go back to play 30 FPS. Can't do it. I can't do it. So,
and I
you know what I'm saying?
I have.
No, I have too, man. We all have. We all suffered through it. But I'm just saying, not anymore. Like, for example, let me ask you a question. Are you going to play Avowed on an Xbox? No, you're not. I could guarantee you're going to be playing it on a PC, aren't you, Colteastwood?
I didn't know you could drag and drop. I wanted to put this meme I made. I'll put it over my face. You should be able to see it now. This is a classic Calvin and Hobbes. There was a segment where Calvin was subscribed to a chewing gum magazine, and it was like describing the best gums, the one with the most chew, the one with the most bounce, the most flavor. And Hobbes here says, "What kind of nut would care about this?" And I put Digital Foundry on the magazine. He goes, "Everyone, this is hard data. It lets you quantify your enjoyment." And I sent that to John Linneman, and he had a good laugh and chuckle out of that because that's what people do when they look at. Can I just hit the delete key? Yes, I can. Okay, cool.
By the way, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think it's funny that sometimes we dig into how the sausage is made, and some of us think this is how we quantify our enjoyment. If I know I'm getting a lock 60, or if I'm getting more resolution than the other guy, I'm getting more enjoyment out of my game than others. And I've been guilty of that sometimes.
So, hey, I'm just saying, like, you're going to be playing Avowed at 60 on your PC, are you not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there you go. See, I do not have a PC, so either I suffer through 30, or if I can't do it, I will wait till a 60 FPS patch comes in. But I'll get it. I'm not going to say no. I mean, it's right here. The console's right in front of my face, and the monitor's right in front of my face. Game Pass is already on there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I'm
Why
going to
wouldn't
download
you?
it anyway. I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to see how it goes. If it doesn't do it for me at 30, I'm going to say, listen, man, no offense to anybody, but I'm just going to wait for 60 FPS.
Yeah.
I gave it the old college try. By the way, shout out to Tim. I'm assuming it's called Tim Robel in the chat. Boy, did he pull out a diamond in the rough, because as a huge horror fan, he said Motel Hell shows you how the sausage is made. If anybody has seen that early 80s horror movie called Motel Hell, you would know that they take their customers, make them disappear, and then they would grind them up and turn them into sausages and sell the sausages in the front of the motel. And man, dude, Tim Robel, I think me and you might be the only people in this entire chat who's seen that damn movie.
Oh my god.
Motel Hell, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to see it. But anyways,
Don't watch it with your kids.
Yeah,
That's
don't
what
watch
I've
it.
been hearing that for like 18 years. Don't watch it with your kids. They're like, it's so
Fahim
amazing.
Scott
And then
in
he
chat.
does this, and it's got this,
Yeah.
you got this, and you can watch it right now. Don't watch it with your kids.
Don
what was I
Sicario, thank you. He says, I'll vote MAGA instead of Pierre. Thank you. I'll take the nomination. And Fahim Scott in the chat says he goes suffer through 30. Like I said, I'm not saying no.
Oh, I
I'm
want
going to do it because I'm not playing Assassin's Creed day one. You know how I consume Ubisoft 1 year later at 60% off. But that means that there's going to be some free time in there.
This is the year to be picky about when you play stuff, because it's packed. It's so packed. And I am erring on the side that Avowed will have a 60 FPS mode at launch.
It won't
on
be
Xbox.
long. It won't be long.
It was rough on PC.
Really?
A month ago, yeah. Like I had to turn on some DL. You know, I'd bring some boost on the performance for resolution to get the frame rate, locked in. But
That's
it's early
surprising.
days. It just sounds
Yeah,
like they're. It sounds like they're in a different situation, that they'll probably have 60 FPS. But if they don't, I would encourage you to wait if you don't want to play at 30 or play it on PC.
It's not going anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? It's sitting right there. Like, it's gonna be right there. And
if you're a fantasy RPG guy, Mag, you've got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is fairly similar, open world melee-based game coming out the same week, and Avowed, and there's probably something else in there. Like, you can definitely wait if you're feeling
there's a
iffy
lot of
about
stuff going on. But the thing is, hands up to everybody who still has like 7 or 8 games, maybe even more in their backlog from 2023, 24 that they haven't even got to yet, let alone the avalanche of nonsense that's coming in 2025, whether it's through Game Pass or whether it's through third party or whether it's going to be on PlayStation. It's going to be one heck of a year. And that doesn't even include the Switch 2 launching if you're into the Nintendo thing, and you got Nintendo launching sometime in the spring. Holy mackerel.
Oh, we're supposed to hear about the new Nintendo Switch this month, so
Holy cannoli.
yeah, it's going to be huge. Phase 23, Brooklyn, New York, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It says PS6 will be out November 2027. No chance. I'm pretty sure that's 2028. But more
It'll be
power
20
to them if they. I don't think
It'll be
they're going that
28.
early.
It'll be 28.
And
Yeah.
we're just
They have
we're just
no need.
speculating. Yeah. Paul Carr, thank you so much for the Canadian $10 and the flying paired super pair animated dude. Thank you so much, Paul.
Super
Appreciate
pair.
it. Yeah, super pair. BT Maverick
Yeah.
says Xbox gamers are affected when their games go to PlayStation because in turn PlayStation uses that money to money hat other games exclusively hurt Xbox. Phil said this in court. Yep, but you know what? What else? Oh well, like there's no going around at this point. BT Maverick, thank you for the 5 as well. Says which is less games for Xbox gamers, and giving an artificial false pseudo perspective for Sony actually did something just by money hatting games. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I get it. They're going to use that money, and PlayStation will hide games away from other platforms as more than anybody else. So it's just how they do it. Game Circuit, thank you so much for the Canadian 5. Says, any idea what multiplayer mode will come packed in with Doom the Dark Ages? The last 2 had them. I forgot what Doom Eternal had for multiplayer.
I never played the Doom
I never
multiplayers.
did.
I never enjoyed it.
I played
Because
the first one. Yeah.
Like you play as some as like the demons, or like you play as like one of the eyeballs or something, and I'm like, I don't want to play as that. Like, I just want to play as like the Doomslayer and destroying everything and ripping out eyeballs and cutting people in half and doing whatever, or not people but demons, whatever. I was not interested in that multiplayer, and I found it to be very convoluted and strange.
Yeah, another studio did the multiplayer mode for Doom 2016. They farmed it out, and I don't remember what Eternal had at all. I for some reason I don't remember.
I don't remember. Like I said, I
wouldn't
played
be
the single
surprised.
players, and that was it. And I mean, and if Doom Eternal has multiplayer, I might give it a whirl. But the other two didn't excite me at all. So I think I might just stick with, the single player campaign because I really enjoy it. I mean, I love Doom.
I wouldn't be surprised if Doom: The Dark Ages is just a strictly single player event and that's it. Donnie says called battle mode. Yeah, I remember seeing that in the menu, and I probably never went to it. And I think it was called battle mode in 2016 as well. So maybe it was the same crap.
Oh man, I got a man after my heart in the chat here. Kamran Kazemi Far, he says my backlog is like 70 plus games and it keeps growing because I tried 100% all of them. Dude, that is 100% my affliction, and it's nothing I could do about it either, man. It's nothing I could do about it. It's just it is what it is.
Pulling the e-brake. Last week we were supposed to talk about the Project Sibyl, the haptic controller. It's weird that Sibilance. It's weird that this popped up, but I think maybe it kind of lends a credence to Xbox 2026 being an actual target date for the console. We don't know if it really is. It seems really super early, but for this pop-up for the controller talk and the console, maybe they are planning on doing this, because I didn't get to talk about this on the show last week. We had so much to talk about, but this new controller has the haptics built in. I think we've talked about it before, like a month ago. But it'll be more like a DualSense 5, and it's only releasing with next-gen consoles. I think it's dumb that Xbox, if they're putting out a new controller, they should push that out first before a new console comes out, because they want you to have the Xbox experience everywhere. Like, let people have this new controller now on their Xbox Series, on PC, on cloud, or whatever. Meg, the other thing that came out from this Xbox Prime 2026 news was that, shout out to almost 700 people. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. We're working our butts off here to give you the news in the best way possible. The other thing is that, according to the Ghost of Hope, his leak is that the Xbox handheld would come after 2026's console. So we could guess like 2027, 2028, but maybe when Phil talked about it last year at the IGN event that he was like, we're just starting it, maybe. I don't know. You said that you had some stuff that you wanted to reveal tonight. I don't know if that's still available, news that you were willing to talk about, or do you want to save that for another time? Where are you at on that?
Well, I mean, if you want to get ahead of the developer direct, this is not fact, but I did hear some release months for some games, which I found to be interesting, because I was actually wrong on some of our predictions, assuming that this is even comes true. So we shall see. But from what I've heard is that, first of all, are we going to touch on this hardware before I get into that? Because I do have something to say about this.
Why don't you cover
whatever you want to call it?
I threw like so much at you, but yeah, let's cover the hardware before we get into your Xbox Developer Direct stuff.
All right, so this DualSense controller, I'm all for it because my personal opinion is that the DualSense 5 controller is, to me, it's one of the best controllers I've ever had the pleasure of using, period. I enjoy the hell out of it. I love the haptic feedbacks. I love all that stuff. It's so immersive. It's wonderful. And why should an Xbox have something like that? Go for it. Do it.
Yep.
However, if you're going to do that, they're going to have to go back. Maybe not everything, but they're certainly going to have to go back, and they're going to have to add a lot of those features have to be patched into the games, because it doesn't just automatically happen.
I've got info on that.
Okay, so please tell me, because would you have to go in and patch, because some of it has to be programmed, right? That
yes, that would be a major
X, Y,
problem.
And Z.
Let me get you the actual quote that says.
I'll be right. I'm just turning the camera off for 2 seconds. Go ahead.
He's taking off his pants. Crucially, it suggests the haptic motors will be able to mimic previous style vibrations for backward compatibility purposes, eliminating the need for developers to intervene to make their games work on the new controller. Yeah, so that's it. So Mag brings up a really a valid point that sure, you could have haptic tactile feeling in your controller, but who's going to go back and code this into their games? Apparently this will already work based off of what vibration or feedback is already available on a game. So even if you load up something as old as BioShock Infinite on your Xbox Series X with this new controller, it would detect other vibrations and apply them to the micro rumble that would be in the main grip part of the controller. So this is a report from Windows Central Jez Corden, who also talks about new Bluetooth protocol, which makes it easier and faster to connect. A lift to wake feature when you pick up the controller. If you turn this on, you can pick up the controller and it will power up for you. You don't have to hold the button and turn it on. That's something you could turn on or off if you want. And it will also have a direct to cloud launch feature, which who cares? But yeah, just a more futuristic controller, which Xbox should have had 4 years ago. So anyway, you were saying, besides just the backward compatibility, is that your concern?
No, not really concerned. I just want to say, like, if they're going to do that with like first-party games specifically, I mean, moving forward, you can say, okay, well, moving forward, all the other games will have haptic feedbacks and this and that, whatever. Because some of it is actually a little bit more nuanced, which I enjoy just as much as the rumble, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, there's like some of the stuff, like even when you play Callisto Protocol, for example, and if you're playing it on PlayStation and you're in like those, like, those dark rooms with, those huge fans that are just covered in blood and boom, 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 right? And when you get within 10 feet or so of those, sometimes within 12 feet or whatever, and you start moving closer to it, you literally feel the fan blades on the controller as you're moving closer, and then the fan blades, like the feeling and the vibrations of it get stronger as you get closer to it. Right? And I'm like, that is so cool. And especially when you're playing like a horror game and you hear breathing through the controller and you got the giant fans and the humming of equipment and you hear it and you feel it on the controller, you feel like you're there.
Some people hate that, Meg. I think it's freaking awesome.
I love it. So like I said, can you imagine that with Gears of War with like a chainsaw? Yeah, and then you get like, I mean, you've played Astrobot, when it does like the zipper stuff, it does and you feel like, it almost feels like a chainsaw, or when you go flying up on something with a giant zipper and you go up. And can you imagine that with a chainsaw with Gears of War? And you could feel as you're cutting into like, the guys, like just cutting through it, and you could feel all of that and whatever else. I think it'd be so awesome. And then you could hear monsters lurking in the dark or whatever. You can hear them with the 3D spatial audio coming through the controller and stuff like that. Why not?
Yeah, it's good stuff because I played Death Stranding on Xbox with my Elite controller, and the limited rumble, even for Death Stranding, which was set to be like a PlayStation experience, even the limited rumble was really great because when you're playing Death Stranding, they added rumble all the time. Like, so it was always, the controller always felt alive, and that's without haptic feedback. Satanist in the chat says, scrolling, DualSense uses sound waveforms, so it's doable to auto-convert, which is really great because that's what does the auto backward compatibility is. If you just tell it, hey, when certain sounds are spiking in the game, that it activates those triggers. Right. I don't know. It's something Xbox should have had. I don't know why they didn't, but my suspect is that I suspect that they saw the DualSense 5 and they're like, classic Xbox, right? The DualSense 5 is an awesome controller. That brings up I got to ask you about the DualSense wannabe Xbox controller that shared today that looked like it was wearing a sports bra. Did you see this sucker today?
No, I did not see that. No.
I don't know if you want to Google it, but you could Google DualSense Xbox controller. It looks just like a white PlayStation controller, but has a big Xbox button in the middle, and it looks like it's wearing like some kind of weird sports bra. But yeah, apparently it's got haptics, and people are like, ooh, it's got inline thumbsticks. Let me pull a Dreamcast guy.
I see it.
Are you looking at it? What does it look like?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like a nightmare.
What is that like thing that like women will wear where they take like the little cardigan and they tie it in the middle?
Yeah, with like the little button right in the middle. It's like what an Instagram model would wear. No, that better not be the controller. No, I know it's not the controller, but I mean, it's that's a bad design. It's probably just some AI design.
What is it, Hyperkin? I hear their quality isn't very good, so I don't know if it's probably not worth looking into getting one of those just to see Hyperkin. Would you get one of these?
No, not looking like that. I don't want to be. I want to be playing a woman's blouse with vibration. Well, that sounds weird.
You don't, do you? Oh, let's see. I don't want to. Well, maybe I do. Rogue Luge, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining the channel membership. If you guys want to hit the join button below, that'll get you early access to videos, 12 hours plus before they go up publicly. Get you special emojis that you can use in the chat. It supports the channel and keeps Mag's shirt on as much as possible. Noise
Well,
FOMO.
you know.
Thank you for the Canadian $5 super chat. It says, I spent an hour on Microsoft patents today. They've updated proof of purchase, physical disc, haptic keyboard, a trackpad, as well as augmented reality for Oculus. I'm sure they're doing lots of stuff, but I don't know how much that stuff materializes. Udana Kizada, thank you for the $5 super, says, if I wanted to hear heavy breathing, I'd pretend to be a hot pocket in the microwave, hearing me outside rubbing my hands. I can imagine Yodani just like his face pressed up against the microwave. You little hot little number. Oh, yeah. You're doing a little spin move for me, aren't you? Oh, yeah. See this? I can see the seam running around the hot pocket. Right? Then you melt your mouth off when you bite into it. Glenn Fear, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, Colt kind of looks like Corey Taylor. Love the show. Really? I do? Corey Taylor from Slipknot, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. If I had bigger eyes. Thank you. Everyone says that Mag looks like, what's his name? The British actor who's what was his name? Gosh dang it. He was on, he played the terrorist in was it a Bond movie? Darn it, Meg. Who do they say that you look like?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's okay. I'm sure it'll come to you.
It won't.
Are you sure about that?
Help me out, chat. Who's the guy? He's got the shaved head. He's got the thin beard. He's British. He faked to play a terrorist in this one movie where he said he was going to blow everything up, and he was just some Walter White. Yeah, Ben
Everybody
Kingsley.
say Walter White.
There it is. Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
Hold on, let me look at the picture.
When I was a little skinnier, when I lost a ton of weight before I started doing some heavy weight training, like up until like last year, I kind of looked like Ben Kingsley. But then the funny thing, and I started gaining a lot of weight for my muscle training and stuff. So I gained about another 25, 30 pounds back from all the fat I lost. And then so I gained the muscle back, and now I don't look like Ben Kingsley anymore. Now I just look like a fathead. The muscles and the neck, right? Because you're doing all these upper body weights and all that stuff. It grows the muscles in your neck, and then I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have the big fat neck. Yeah. I don't want that.
Well,
stupid.
Your Donnie thinks you look like Idris Elba, so there's that.
Well, that's a little off for obvious reasons.
Just a little bit. If you squint your eyes, it's just ever so slightly.
Yeah,
he looks
if you
just
squint
like
your eyes. I look just like Idris Elba.
Yeah, it was Iron Man. He was the bad guy in Iron Man. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of what it was, but it's been a day. Yeah,
was he the bad guy in Iron Man though? Was he?
Yeah,
we don't really know, do we? No spoilers here. No spoilers.
Okay,
here.
before we talk about the Xbox Developer Direct, I want to talk about this article that said Xbox has too many games too close together. Fable is going to be a problem because it's too close to Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, that's nonsense.
That
is
nonsense. Sandwiched, my friend. Sandwich is what they say.
I saw the article. No, I read the article. What am I talking about? Saw it. You posted it. I had already read it. Now the thing is, sorry. Go ahead. You say what you're going to say first. I'll be the cleanup hitter.
The cleanup hitter. I like that. They said that Avowed is coming out in February. Fable's probably in the holiday or end of year of 2025. Outer Worlds comes out in the late summer, and then you turn around and you have Elder Scrolls 6 in 2026, maybe 2027. And the Xbox has far too many games sandwiched together, which is kind of a weird thing that I see some of the games media doing, where they're like, Xbox has no games. Well, they don't have any game, nothing. They're never going to release anything. And now it's like they just have just too many games. And what are they doing? They're going to cannibalize their sales. They're going to cannibalize Game Pass. It's kind of weird to assume that Elder Scrolls is like right around the corner. I don't think it's in 2026, but it could be. It could be shown then. I don't know. What's your take?
All right. You know my feelings about you know my feelings about Fable in 2025. That it just seems like there's so much in there already, that including third party stuff, that's actually going to take away from it a little bit. And I think it needs its own time to shine. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
Whether people like that opinion or not, and that's why I'm saying
I like it.
let's not shove everything between October and December. You know what I mean? And then people will show apathy to it because there's too much going on. Presumably, we have Grand Theft Auto 6. I know we keep talking about it, but presumably we got Grand Theft Auto 6 in September. You got Call of Duty in October, and then you've got Outer Worlds 2 somewhere in there. Let's say between October and November, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna shove Fable into December now, and then like everybody, you know what I mean? I just think it's too much at too close of a period of time, and people will lose focus because you're like, what's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? And you're getting hammered from all angles, and I think it deserves its own
Somebody clip
spotlight.
that.
Yeah, right. I think it deserves its own spotlight. That's just my opinion. And I think that by putting it in 5 massive AAA games and shoving it right in between 4 of them, I don't like that idea. I just don't like it. And I don't care about the Game Awards or whatever. I mean, I like watching them, but like, I don't think Xbox cares.
What about August, Oblivion remake, September, Outer Worlds 2, October, Fable, November, Call of Duty? Am I missing anything from Xbox?
I guess you could do that. Yeah.
I mean, you really only need 3 to 4 weeks between games, and this
but it's
15% you're talking about, they blow through a game in 2 weeks, a big one.
You're also talking about the 500-pound gorilla in the room that's somewhere going to be in between September and October, and that's why no one's giving release dates.
Okay, let me do it again.
The second half of the year because they're terrified.
Let me do it again, and you interrupt me with the reality. What did I say? August was Oblivion remake.
Right.
September's Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
October is Fable.
Okay.
Wait, when do you think, what would be your best guess if Grand Theft Auto 6
I'd say third or fourth week of September.
Okay, so I have to go back. August was Outer World or Oblivion.
Yeah.
September, what I say is Outer Worlds 2. Can you put Outer Worlds 2 the same month as, what if Outer Worlds 2 is like the 4th and the 20th is Grand Theft Auto 6?
That's fine. That's enough time for people to play that game. But we're not talking about Outer Worlds. What we're talking about here is we're talking about Fable.
Yeah.
And you don't want Fable that they've been working on for 7 years. You don't want that to get, kicked to the curb by the GTA 6 elephant that just stomped into the room. You know what I mean? That deserves its own spotlight. And the thing is, though, at the end of this all, what we're ignoring here is that not ignoring, but we're just not addressing enough is the fact that the second half of the year, no one's given a release date, and they're not given a release date because they're not going to go anywhere near it. It's not even out of respect for the company. It's more about the fact that they're going to get slaughtered by the consumer.
Yeah, it's not a respect for the company. It's protecting your own game. For sure.
It's protecting your game, and because you know that the mind share is going to be 99% GTA. Everybody's going to be talking about it, live streaming it, podcasting, commercials on TV, in the middle of football, right? Because NFL starts the same month, give or take, right? In September. You're going to have all this stuff going on, and whatever else. It's just going to be everywhere. Even I know that people say, well, they're different games. They're different games, but it doesn't matter. Almost everybody's going to be playing that game. So the thing is, you're going to pull all those people away. You need time to breathe. Don't forget, you also got Borderlands 4 somewhere in the mix. You've got Mafia 4 somewhere in the mix.
Mafia's in the spring, but Borderlands 4.
Shoot. When's Borderlands 4? Hold on. Did they give the actual date?
They're waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting. Okay, so no, Mafia was Mafia. Oh, they did announce the date. That's right. I'm sorry, my bad. At the last when they showed the last trailer, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's that. Oh, now I gotta look.
It is. It is.
Come on, really?
It is. I'm pretty sure.
Mafia 4
Old
release
Country. Make sure you spell it right. You get a different.
August.
It just says mid.
That's right. Doesn't give a date. Doesn't give a date.
Yep, you're right, Meg. As per
So-
usual, you're right.
So it doesn't have a date. So now you've got a situation where you've got Mafia 4, you've got Borderlands 4, Grand Theft Auto. Now this is the third-party stuff. We're gonna call Call of Duty third-party. Okay, we're just gonna call it that, just because
It's big.
it is what it is, right? You got 4 big titles in there.
Call
you
of Duty
don't know,
always releases next to Grand Theft Auto. That's not a big deal. They do.
It's
just
not
fine.
a big deal because people will go back and forth, right? They'll be like, you know what? I'll go play a couple rounds of COD. Let me go back to Grand Theft Auto or whatever with this and that. Play some rounds of team deathmatch with the boys.
Go back.
All right,
Call of
boys.
Duty.
I'm going.
Yep.
I'm going to go back to Grand Theft Auto, whatever. And then do their thing. So yeah, those can live, in a symbiotic relationship. It's not a big deal. Fable, on the other hand, which is going to require a first person, an actual single player attention. Going through these worlds, exploring, doing this, doing that. It's going to be pretty hard to do that when the other guy's doing the same thing up the road, right? And it's the bigger dog in the room. And I'm just saying I don't like it anywhere near it, and I don't think Microsoft likes it either. I don't think first of all, I don't think any of these companies like the position that they're being put in right now. I think they're very uncomfortable. And I think they're actually probably getting pretty annoyed with the situation, knowing that they don't have a solid date and they just want to be able to map around it. And it's not fair for them, and it's not fair for their investors either. You know what I'm saying? Like their investors are probably sitting there going, what are we supposed to do? Like, what's happening? Do you want us to, stick with you guys? You want to stick with this, buying the stock options and everything else? Well, how do you know? Because you don't know what's going to happen. Right? And that's a problem.
Yeah, and I know that we talked last week about the, what did you call it? I can't think of the word right now about how Rockstar is being kind of stuck up. I can't remember what the word you used.
I don't remember either, but
they're holding everybody's, they're holding them hostage.
They're holding the entire industry hostage, and I hate that because you've got all these great games that are on the verge of coming out, and it's already, the first week of January, and we really don't have any idea. I mean, we have an idea about some Xbox stuff I've heard, and we'll see if that comes true, which we'll get into in a minute. But the majority of it, we don't know. Right? We don't know. The only one I know for sure is Split Fiction comes out in March because, like I said, I'm streaming It Takes Two with my boy.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're gonna play up to leading up to the release of Split Fiction. That's a whole other thing. But
Donnie, the word wasn't ostentatious. We don't know those kind of words.
I know the word.
Conceited. What was the word you used? Not that it matters.
I don't remember, dude. I don't even remember what happened yesterday. I don't even remember what happened this morning.
People are like, "What are you doing the 13th?" I'm like, "I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. Can you leave me alone?"
Yeah. It's madness.
Prideful. Donnie's just going to throw out all of his big vocabulary. We appreciate him. Well, let's talk about Developer Direct here in a second. We got Donnie Kuzada. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says I already read that one. He said later, Mag, please don't expose him for his hot breathing on the glass of the microwave. Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat, thank you so much for the Australian 5. Says, I think you only want 4 releases along with GTA. The rest are filled with third party. Maybe ensure they don't run into a dry spell in the following years. That's true, because if Xbox can move one of those games to stay out of the way of Grand Theft Auto, that would be better for them. But my stance to this day is I don't care. We waited 4 years for these games you showed in 2020. You just need to release them. And I don't really truly mean that, but I kind of mean it. Like, why would you make me wait longer because a big game came out? There are people that don't care about Grand Theft Auto. Like Ono Alex, like, I'm not going to play it. Maybe he wants to play Fable. So I don't know. Let's talk about the Developer Direct. I will set it up, and then you can talk about what you're hearing. The Developer Direct is usually announced a week before it airs. It's pre-recorded. The Developer Direct is Xbox's foray into the studios, the people that make the games, shows brand new gameplay, and it covers games that are coming out that calendar year. So Developer Direct 2025 would probably be announced maybe in 2 days or a week from Wednesday to come out the following week. So I'm expecting Developer Direct. If I look at a calendar, my best guesstimate would be Developer Direct is on the 15th or the 22nd of January, maybe as late as the 29th. But there they will showcase 4 to 5 games, maybe one third-party game, but the rest will be in-house games.
Right.
I want to talk first, Mag, about what are shoo-ins to be at the Developer Direct and what could be some curveballs, because we could guess and we would always get it wrong about what could be there. Give me one game, Mag, that you think is definitely going to be at the Developer Direct.
Well, without question, it's going to be South of Midnight. That's going to be the first release. Besides Avowed. They're going to show Avowed.
Do you think they'll show Avowed?
Well, they have to. It's a month out. Like, that'd be pretty stupid to not show the game that they're imminently going to release, because they may not go super in depth with it because they probably already have done all that. But I think it's just as a reminder to everybody saying, hey, 3 weeks or whatever, you know what I mean? Or, the 4 short weeks from now, or blah, 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 it's coming out. So they're going to have to do that. They have to.
I'm going to look and see. Redfall was at the Developer Direct, I think. Let me look. And then they turned around and did previews. Let me see. Preview here. Developer Direct. That was their first Developer Direct. I don't see. I was thinking maybe they wouldn't show Avowed because they did big previews a month ago, and a lot of people have seen a ton of footage. And what else do you need to show? They've already shown all the biomes. So I'm not sure if they would, but
just as like a circle back, just as like a circle back, and just do like a little sizzle reel, 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Just to make sure that it's in everybody's face. Guys, don't forget, 3-4 weeks from now, here it comes. You know what I mean? So like I can see that.
I agree with the marketing
just
thing too.
It'll just be like a marketing reminder to everybody that it's coming out. So I'm going to ignore that one, but because I think that's a shoe-in. That's going to be the first thing they show. South of Midnight is going to be the next game in the mix. They're gonna show that. I know they showed a little bit of gameplay here and there. I saw some of the stuff on the socials. I've seen some stuff behind the scenes, but I saw the actual what was going around of the traversal and everything else, and I'm like, all right, and yeah. So yeah, that's definitely going to be the next one.
South of Midnight has actually impressed quite a few large segments of the gaming fans who were were they really excited about a compulsion game? Seems like South of Midnight has won over people. Lotus Esprit in the chat says that they're really looking forward to it. It's like their kind of game. I've been very cautious about South of Midnight, but stuff is looking pretty good. Like, you can't count a studio out. This may be their big moment, but
I've liked some of it. Like I like the game they made way back in the day. I played that Contrast. I loved that game. Did you ever play Contrast? The one with the shadows?
I only played it for a minute. Yeah, I didn't really play it.
Dude, it's so good. I played that because it was available on Game Pass years ago. And that was, I think, before they even purchased the company. But I got 1,000 out of 1,000 on that game on Xbox because I adored it. I thought it was a fantastic game. If I were you, I would consider going back and checking it out because it's really quite ingenious. And I really enjoyed what they did with it, like the art, not only the art direction and the music and the actual idea of the game. Brilliant. And then when I found out they were doing like a third-person action adventure game, I'm like, well, go for it, man, because I really loved Contrast. Was one of my favorite games of that year. Adored it. So go back and check it out, man. If you're playing BioShock, you can give that a shot. Just play for like an hour and you can see it's really cool. Like you're platforming literally on real things, like tangible things in the real world, and then you're platforming on shadows that are happening in the background as you manipulate the light and stuff. And I'm like, that is so insanely cool. Really, really great game. So I had no problem, qualms about Compulsion releasing a fantastic game. So
yeah. And I really, there's some really brilliant stuff in We Happy Few, which not a lot of people played. Before we get into that, I want to remind people that special thanks to 4XP Gaming for sponsoring. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I have it on the screen that if you use the code XNC2025, you can get 20% off of your order. So use that right now. It's been on the chat. It's pinned on the chat. If you want to order something, get 20% off. We appreciate them for sponsoring the podcast. I put this mock graphic I did of the Developer Direct, which is like some of the big games. And if you're looking at this in the bottom, it is Fable, Gears E-Day, Doom, Dark Ages, Outer Worlds 2, and freaking Oblivion remake. I don't think that's what's going to be at the Developer Direct. I think my best guess is kind of along with Mag, South of Midnight, which has already seen 8 minutes of total footage, but not in succession. So a big South of Midnight reveal. I'm not really sure that they would do Avowed because Avowed was in last year's Direct. So I think they're going to skip it. And somebody in the chat said, I think it was Magnum, said they'll have their own event for Avowed. I don't think so. Avowed comes out in about a month from now. I think they're just going to have marketing for it and the game's going to come out. So South of Midnight, I think Fable will not be at the Developer Direct, Mag, because I think the Xbox will have a dedicated post E3 showcase Direct for Fable that'll run 20 plus minutes like they've done with Starfield. And I think that'll be a big moment for Fable. So we won't see Fable in a couple of weeks. Gears E-Day, I don't really believe that game's coming out in 2025 like Tom Warren said he heard. And maybe he's not super...
not a chance in hell.
Yeah,
I can absolutely tell you as a fact it's not coming out 2025. Not a chance in hell.
But you forgot about one shoe-in showcase that you and I think is coming. You and I think is coming out soon. I think there's going to be a big showcase reveal for Developer Direct for Doom: The Dark Ages. What do you know? What can you tell us on that?
The word is that I think that you and I, now we're going to compare notes here, okay? Because you and I have predicted that it was going to be Doom in the spring and then South of Midnight somewhere in the summer, something like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe July release, that kind of thing. Seems like a plausible idea. I did have someone reach out to me and actually, he says it's backwards. South of Midnight. Now, let's take this with a grain of salt, folks. So, if they do the Developer Direct between now and whatever, and we come back to the show and we can compare notes. South of Midnight's an April release. Doom.
I believe that. I can believe that.
All right. Okay, so South of Midnight is an April release. There's another game coming out in March. I can't remember what it's called. A much smaller game. Doom is actually targeting August, September at the moment.
Ooh,
that is much later than I expected. So that I was a little shocked to hear that. And then the other one is Fable is still targeting December 2025. Now, this isn't in stone, but let's take it with a grain of salt, but still fairly reliable. Not fairly reliable. Actually, he's a very reliable source. All the stuff that we've heard up to this point was from the same person that have all come to fruition. But let's not get our panties in a knot. Let's just wait and see how this all turns out. Just relax, Colt. Let's just see how this all plays out, and we'll take it from there. But as it stands, looks like South of Midnight's April. Doom is somewhere between August and September, which I'm shocked. I thought
what
Doom
the
would
junk
be like
are they
May.
doing in the first part of 2025 then?
I don't know. We're gonna have to find out at the Developer Direct. We'll see. But they got Avowed. They got Avowed, and they got South of Midnight. That's the
South of Midnight in like August. Like South of Midnight needs to be. Wait, you said April.
No, April.
Okay.
And then Doom in August, September, and then Fable targeting, not for sure, targeting December. I don't like that idea.
I do not like that idea at all.
I
do not like that idea at all.
I say January. Or sorry, I say first quarter 2026 for Fable. That's just me. That's what I would do. And then wasn't it now something else I wanted to bring up? Didn't Jeff Grubb, which I think he was off the base on with just the title, but I think he wasn't off base on the thing. He says a major game got pushed out of 2025, but they're not talking about it yet.
Fable. It's not Fable, according to Jeff Grubb.
Okay, no, he's saying it's not Fable, but like I heard rumblings about Perfect Dark, but they never gave a release year for Perfect Dark. So why would it be
but
Perfect Dark?
He's saying that Perfect Dark and Fable were set for 2025, but one is moving and it's not Fable. That's what he said. So Perfect Dark, which we've seen both. We've seen more gameplay of Perfect Dark than we have of Fable, and I'm tired of waiting for Fable. I know it needs to be done right. But oh my gosh, do we wait?
Being done right and showing it are two different things.
Yeah, that's true. You know what?
But
you know another thing? I hate to do the but this. Fable's reveal to release is exactly the same as Wolverine's reveal to release window.
Right.
Exactly the
Okay.
same.
Yeah.
So this is still the reality, especially if you started your game in development in 2019, 2020, or even as late as 2022. You're still hindered into a 4 to 5 year development window because of adjusting to the current climate of game development.
Right.
I don't know.
The thing is too, though, if you think about it, GTA 6 presumably comes out in 8 months, and we have not seen a speck of gameplay.
Right.
We saw a trailer. So the same idea, really, if you think about it, that's going to be the biggest game, possibly one of the biggest games in the history of the industry.
We haven't seen
even
any
seen
gameplay, right?
I mean, we've seen bootleg gameplay that people have sent me this and that, and I immediately erase it because I don't need Rockstar knocking on my door. But but we've seen bootleg gameplay and
Mr.
stuff.
Mag. We have your package.
Right.
Oh, goody, it's my package.
Then a giant shark comes and eats my head. So we haven't seen really an ounce of proper gameplay of that, and that comes out in 8 months. And if they're targeting 12 months from now for Fable, it would lead me to believe that the best time to actually release a solid gameplay trailer, if they decided to actually release in December 2025, would be the June showcase.
Agreed. I agree.
And that would make a lot of sense, assuming that they even do that. I still think it's going to get pushed to Q1 2026. That's just me. But if they make that date of December, then there's no reason to not see it at the game. I was about to say the Game Awards, at the showcase in June.
Yeah.
So that's a distinct possibility. But I think that either way, even if they don't release it this year, we're absolutely going to see it at the showcase proper.
Yeah, it'll
There's
be a
no
long
way.
wait during the development developer direct to see if Fable pops up on that graphic.
I don't
or
think
if it's like
that
the
it's
last
going to.
surprise.
I
I'm
don't
with
think
you.
so.
Meg and I are both going to predict that we do not see Fable in a couple of weeks at the developer direct. There are a couple curveballs. One being that last year they showed Visions of Mana at the developer direct. I'm like, why? I even forgot about it because I didn't report. Like, why did they show that game? It's not theirs. It's totally multi-platform. They didn't make it. Why did they showcase that at the developer direct? But I think they did. And which is maybe Xbox's way of saying, hey, we make quirky, we have quirky games on our, I'm just being rude. We have cutesy little games. I'm sorry. It's a good game, I'm sure. I'm sure you played it, Mag. Visions of Mana. I'm sure you 100%ed it. Mag? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Visions of Mana. Yeah. Anyway,
What about
I don't know if we're gonna see like a third party game that's like on there for some reason. Maybe it's something that's coming to Game Pass, because that one came to Game Pass. So maybe we see Atomfall there, or we see Expedition 33 at the developer direct.
Something that's going to go to Game Pass makes a lot of sense, because that you're showcasing something that you want people to consume on the service or whatever, right? So I could see them doing that.
Especially
it makes
the
sense.
chat says it's a JRPG, bro. I couldn't tell. I didn't know. By looking at it, I would have never thought. When they run like this, I'm not sure if it's a JR. I'm not. You correct me if I'm wrong. If they run like this, I don't know. I have a hard time telling.
The Japanese games always do that, man. It's got that weird, the weird running. The weird running, and like the back of the legs go like this, like the heels are almost hitting the back of their thighs.
Yeah,
I was just like, nobody runs like that. But every Asian game, whether it's Japanese, whether it's South Korean or China, they all run the same. I don't know what it is. It's so funny. Even Stellar Blade, the same thing. Like her high heels are slapping her in the ass, like while she's running. I'm like, nobody runs like that. But anyways, whatever.
I do when I'm getting the mail. Ooh, something in the mail. I'm just kidding.
When my 4XP comes in, then I'm gonna be running like that to the mailbox.
Are you gonna put on your wife's heels because you can't find your shoes and you need to run outside real quick? Yeah, I love doing that. Putting on the wrong shoes. I'm just being a jerk when it comes to. I actually played a little bit of Visions of Mana, and It's such a cool looking game, but it's just not my
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
The Naruto running is what I'm making fun of. The reason why, just to clarify, the reason why I say that stuff is weird, because I didn't grow up around that stuff at all. I never watched anime. I never really knew what it was until I was an adult. And then I'm looking at that going like, what? That's so different from, so I'm a little funny when it comes to that. But another curveball could be Double Fine is working on a multiplayer cooperative game. We don't know what it is. There's a rumor that they're working on something called Kiln, which is like their their next quirky game you play as a pot. Something like that. I don't know if that's real, but that was like a leak last year that never materialized. Maybe Double Fine they haven't really said anything since Psychonauts 2. So another big one is, would they show Outer Worlds 2? If they plan on putting Outer Worlds 2 in, let me do let's see, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 to 7 months, like maybe 8 months that they want to put out Outer Worlds 2. Are we going to see it here? We've already seen a little bit of gameplay. We've already seen 35 seconds of gameplay of Outer Worlds 2. Do you think we get an Outer Worlds 2 at Developer Direct, Mag?
Well, yeah, because didn't the last Developer Direct, didn't they show everything that came out the whole year?
Yeah. I'm going to look that up.
Then go ahead. Then you can, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, they showed everything that came out that year. So if that is indeed the case, of course we're going to see it. We don't know how deep.
Yeah, it was Ara History Untold, which came out, Avowed, which got moved, but it was supposed to be in November.
Yeah.
And then Visions of Mana, Hellblade, and Indiana Jones. That was the Developer Direct last year.
Well, there you go. So it showed everything that came out in the year. So there's no reason to not believe that they're going to show Outer Worlds 2. 100% they're going to show it.
So maybe Mag, I'll get your opinion on this. Maybe they don't have a third-party game, and Sotness, thank you for saying that they probably wanted to show their support with Square Enix when they showed Visions of Mana. Oh gosh, it's Mana. I'm horrible. Maybe they don't have a third-party game because they have too many games coming out this year. Because when you look at this fake graphic I made, throw out Gear Z Day. I think that I do this all the time. I think the Oblivion remake would be better suited to be revealed at the showcase with just July or August. Yeah, not Shadow Drop, but
no, but in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
In 2 weeks. Didn't they do that with that Flintlock, that game? Remember that? They showed it. They're like, oh, Flintlock, this and that. And they're like, oh, you can play it on July 7th or something. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think so, if I remember.
And it was only a few weeks later, and then I was thoroughly disappointed. But either way, didn't matter. I was excited at the time. But I think that I could see them doing that. That's the kind of game you would release in the summer. A remake, a remaster. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just something for anybody who doesn't have anything to play with, which I don't believe, by the way. I think that's utter nonsense that people have nothing. I have nothing to play. Liars. All of you liars. I want to see your backlogs empty. Untrue is what I'm going to say about that. Yeah. But yes, I would say that you could drop Oblivion somewhere in the middle of the summer, and then let's see if those dates that I put out there actually come true. We'll find out, and I would imagine we'll find out most of it at the Developer Direct, right?
Yeah.
Like when they showed Indie, they didn't give a release date, but then they say winter 25, 24 or something like that.
I think I still have it open. Oh, I just kind of closed it. Hold on.
Because I don't think it gave an actual date. Because I think they just said late 2024, something like that. It was like they still said it's coming this year. We just don't know exactly when. So I could see them doing that with Outer Worlds. And I really don't buy Fable, man. I just don't buy it.
You don't think it's going to make 2025, or you don't think it's going to be a Developer Direct?
I don't think it's going to make 2025, and I don't think it's going to make the Developer Direct.
I hate you. I hate you.
You were my brother, Anakin. And you truly are lost.
You sound just like him.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. Yes, sorry, just Obi-Wan, just randomly scream out Obi-Wan quotes here and there. Yeah, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Obi-Wan Kenobi, 2005.
That movie is semi-depressing, man.
That was kind of the idea.
Yeah, it was rough. I watched it with my kid a year or two ago, and I was like, sad. I mean, I've seen it a bunch of times before, but
Of course.
So if they're gonna, let me look at this graphic. How many games they
See,
showcase?
Justy Spud, while you're looking at that graphic, Justy Spud said something in the chat, which is exactly what I was thinking. He says, Fable is likely early 2026 unless GTA 6 gets delayed. That is going to be a deciding factor as well. If they have this game ready to rock by the end of the year and GTA 6 gets delayed, I would absolutely see them moving it up and saying, okay, the lane is open, folks.
I looked up the timeline of when Grand Theft Auto 5 was announced their delay and moved it to September 2013. And I don't remember what that was.
I was heartbroken. That's all I know.
Can you Google that real quick, Mr. Mag?
What when they delayed? Because it was supposed to release in May.
Yeah.
And then literally weeks before.
Can you find when they delayed it to September 2013?
Yeah, I could find out.
Because I want to know when the announcement. I kind of want to know what the do or die. We just don't know. Here's the problem with the Grand Theft Auto 6 delay. It's not very likely that Grand Theft Auto 6 is targeting April or May 2025, because we would be seeing the final trailer like really, really soon. And that could still happen. But part of me is like, what if Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually looking for a late spring release and it gets delayed into the fall instead of, because everyone's like, oh, it's going to come out at the end of the year and then it's going to go into 2026. Like, that's not necessarily what could be happening. Like, everybody at Rockstar could say, we're dead set. We know we're going to nail the spring 2025. And then they do a polishing phase and move it into the fall. I shouldn't say spring and fall because we have an international audience, but the first half of the year and then move it to the very last bit of the year. That's what I'm saying. What were you saying, Meg?
So they originally, it was originally supposed to be launched in, oh no, idiot. Sorry.
Yeah, did you actually find the freaking Xbox One and PS4 release? Because I did the same thing.
No, you know what it did? It was the Xbox Series and PS5 releases, because they had delayed that as well.
Yep.
So I was just like, okay, the game missed its original projected Q2 2013 release date, pushed back to 17th September. So it doesn't. I'm trying to find exactly when, but it won't give me the exact date. You'd have to basically go back to Rockstar and find the tweet.
Yeah,
I guess, or like from IGN or one of those things. Like, I'm trying to find it. Let's see. And like, even like, I found the stay logged out.
I know it's.
Oh, okay, right here, February 4th.
January 31st was the very first. Yeah,
that's it. So the article that showed up was on IGN was February 4th of 2013, and it had gotten pushed from what it was supposed to be May, and then it ended up moving all the way to September.
Yeah, so we are like on the edge of the knife right now. We will
find out. But the thing is, though, here's the thing, though, and I know that some other people have talked about this, and they're saying, well, Strauss Zelnick, though, has openly talked about it with the investors. And and he said he's confident on the release date of late fall 2025. I don't have the exact quote of what he said, but when you say that to the investors, you are not going to say, "Oh, but P.S. we just delayed it another 8 months."
It's a different thing of relating that to the fans than it is the investors. Like, fans have to wait to pay. The investors need their money, right?
That would be fiscal irresponsibility. To tell your investors to prepare for, a huge jump in stock, and start investing, and then expect a huge payout and a huge return on investment, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, just kidding, it's coming out in like March 2026. You don't tell the investors that. Like I said, you're absolutely right. You could tell the fans that. You could tell IGN that. You could tell GameSpot that, or whoever. Nobody cares about that. You could tell them that has no consequence or Alfonso Mendoza. Okay, you could tell him nothing's gonna happen. He's gonna freak out. He's gonna be pissed.
Would you leave Justy Spud in the dark and just not tell him?
I would actually do that, and I would lie to Skill at will, and I would tell him that the game is $99.99, and I would steal his $20 and then make him pay the $79.99. Sorry, we're just randomly picking out names from the chat here, ladies and gentlemen. So the thing is, you do that with the customers or with the news outlets or anything else. It actually has no there's no outcome, no negative outcome from that, other than, oh man, that sucks. You know what I mean? We'll just have to wait longer. You can't.
Rockstar is nice.
That sucks.
Rockstar is smart though. If they do delay a game, it's because their investors are going to get a better return on investment. And so many studios are like, just give us our game. Just get the game out and get the publishers paid. And then it's like, if it was polished,
but
it wouldn't get review bombed. And when it doesn't get review bombed, it actually has a chance to sell really well. If it's a great game, all that stuff.
The thing is, though, at the same time, is you've got the CEO of the company telling the investors that they're confident they're going to make.
So saying that Mag,
yeah,
how much of you percentage-wise thinks that Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually going to hit 2025?
I think it's pretty good. I know that Schreier said otherwise, and Warren said otherwise, but
he said that's a prediction. And if somebody was telling him, man, well, we're not sure if we're going to make it, he would have reported that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I said, Schreier's saying he's heard otherwise, that it's been delayed. Tom Warren's heard, I think it was Tom Warren, said that he heard it was that it might not make 2025. But then you've got the CEO of the actual company telling the investors it is going to make 2025. And not only is it going to make 2025, it's going to make the projected release date of fall of 2025.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we know that.
The fact that he said that, like I said, you don't just spout off that information to people who literally control the outcome of your company financially, right? And can you imagine the blowback that he would face from that? I can't see it. He also said that they also have a very busy year coming up, right? In the next, let's say 12 months. They have a very, very busy year. They've got all kinds of stuff coming out. Right, so they're busy cats over there, so they're going to be doing incredibly well. But he was specifically referencing Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lean on, I believe him.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
It's the best you can do.
It's not like some random ass developer who's just hanging around getting a bagel at the shop and someone asked him. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's coming out 2025." This is the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That man has serious responsibilities with very serious people. That's not something that you just say lightly. That's the way I look at it. Like, I would never do that. If I had something to say, it would better be damn well concrete, because I have very, very big people to report to above me.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way on earth I would just spout off at the boosh and just be like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, I would make sure the boosh is it's French for mouth, yeah. So I wouldn't just say that. Like, you have to have all your ducks in a row and make sure everything is lined up and say, okay, now I can say something about it because I have something solid here. Bro. But until then, you can't do that.
Look at the poll. 54% say they care about GTA 6. 47% say no.
47% is lying. They're lying.
I just can't
imagine
when
the game comes out, everybody's going to be playing
it.
What? Everybody's going to be playing it. Everybody's going to be playing it. I don't care what anybody says. The poll is turn this into a house of lies.
You lied. No. Yeah. There are contrarians in the world, but I mean, it's an anonymous poll. They're being honest with themselves. I don't know.
I think they're lying to themselves.
Don't you ever lie on my freaking show.
And they're lying to me.
If I catch you. You know, nothing frightens me more than a cricket. If I see one that
really
gets into my game room, like they sneak through the garage.
You know what I don't like about them?
They're like little satans. They're little.
Well,
they're
it's
little
the
like
random jumping.
Dark, and the way they walk, bro. They.
You know what they look like? They look like those creatures from Helldivers 2.
Yeah,
with with the big back legs. It freaks me out.
I don't like them. I was in this apartment in a basement apartment. You know, those kind where it's just like 2 floors and you have that little window. And there was like a couple of crickets that were like, I don't know if they're on the other side of the wall or if they're in the wall, but right at 6 a.m, they would just do that. And I'm like, and then the one would come like by the mattress. They're like, I can be manly sometimes.
Where are you sleeping? Outside? Right by the mattress?
No, I was sleeping in the corner of the room in the basement, and they like could make their way in there, and then they crawl like they're possessed. You evil devil, scary crickets, you.
The thing is, we are hardwired to be frightened of things that
skitter,
that crawl and scuttle.
That's a line from Gears 1, I think, if not Gears 2. That's what Baird says it, I think. He says, as humans, we are hardwired to repel things that skitter. And what was the word you used?
Because we don't like it. Scuttle, skitter, scuttle.
Why? What is it about our psyche?
Well, because it doesn't move, like to us, it doesn't move naturally. And because of that, it like freaks us out. Like, for example, like those giant centipedes? Like, to hell with those creatures from literally from hell. Like the devil himself.
Like the one that like crawls over by Frodo and they're hiding under the tree from the
Yeah. And you get one of those hairy bastards like on the ground, like in the basement or like on the cement, because they like the cold, right? They like the cold cement, so they walk on the cement in the summertime. And like, oh my God, dude, you get a hold of one of those, or you see one of those, especially the big hairy ones, and I'm terrified. And I couldn't even imagine living in countries where Australia or South America where those things are like 2 feet long. And I'm like, no, dude, sorry. I'll take Canadian winters. You can keep your 2-foot centipedes.
I'm okay with centipedes, and I'm partially okay with spiders. It's just when they get to a certain size, and who was it in the chat that says, right here. It was Falcon says, Colt, you've been playing too much Grounded. Like the wolf spiders, they nail the way that they look. Dude. Oh gosh.
Wolf spiders are terrifying.
My kids, they still call me into the house to get rid of any size spider. And I try to tell them, like, if it's small, just like just deal with it. Like
spiders are fine. They don't bother me.
Spiders are fine, but when they're bigger and they have really big, well, there's something about the skittering crickets, the way they kind of walk sideways, like like they've been impaled or something.
Well, dude, it's -20 here. Ain't nothing living right now. So, the thing is, they don't grow big enough in this country. So what happens is they start growing in like April, right? And then they start all dying off in like November because that's their evolution. They go through their middle, they go through their middle ages. They become middle-aged game guys in like July and August, and then they're dead by November because they die of old age or not even old age because the seasons change. Let me see a spider survive -20. It's not going to happen. So that's why we don't have this constant evolution of these animals or these insects, because they don't keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you go to one of these godforsaken countries like where Magnum lives, and you got like wolf spiders the size of a friggin' poodle walking around the street and go, oh, look at it. There's a wolf spider walking down the road.
Remember, and you're like, what's that movie where the big like creature lands in New York City and it was all shot on high-8 camera?
Oh,
Cloverfield.
yeah.
Cloverfield. Remember those things? They were like spider scorpions and
terrifying. Game adaptation newscast. What do you think? I didn't see it just because Yodani hid your comment. I saw it. I'm not going to read it. I can't read it out loud, but he's being scared of bugs is stuff.
Makes you a wussy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Well,
that's fine. I'm
what I'm
okay with
do?
most of them.
My
wife will pick up a cricket and go, "Oh, look," and I'm like, "Get away from me."
You know what I like about crickets is that they just like they pick the most inopportune time to just literally just jump in your face, and you're just like, "Oh, look at that, he's so blah," and then they like jump in your face just to throw you off.
Remember in Batman Begins when he falls down into the well and the bats like fly and swarm him? Now he's like deathly afraid of bats his whole life, right? I had that in 1984. We moved to our new house.
No way.
Not bats. So we moved to our new house in 1984, and people let the yard they let it go. So it was yellow weeds like as tall as I was when I was a kid. And I went around the side of the house to go check out our new backyard, and the side of the house was loaded with yellow grasshoppers.
No.
And I didn't see them, and when I walked by, they all went, "Oh, shoot." And they all jumped and they smacked me on the face. And I was like,
So you became Cricket Man?
So
you learned I'm
okay with grasshoppers, but like, because grasshoppers are everywhere when I was growing up, but it was the crickets. They're black, shiny exoskeleton. You know what's weird about insects? Fun fact. they don't have lungs. They have trachea in their body. They have like pipe bones with holes like a flute. And they bring in oxygen molecules through pipes in their body. You devilish devil crickets. As True 77 says, good name for a band, Devil Cricket. Yeah.
Why do we fall, Master Colt? So we can get back up.
And then my friend came over and took a grasshopper. PETA is going to strike down this video. He took a grasshopper and put it in the microwave at my house, and we watched it. This is before microwaves spun, right? And we watched this thing through the glass, like Yodani watching a Hot Pocket, and the grasshopper sat there and just started turning red hot, and we're like, and he was like,
"Oh my god,
we're the worst."
Look at J Ram in the chat. He's like, seriously, guys, they should release that controller as soon as possible. I think that they would have a huge market for that haptic feedback. Listen, we're not talking about video games anymore. We're talking about crickets and insects. This is the Cricket and Insect podcast. The first 2 hours is about video games. The last 5 minutes of the show is all about insects. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about millipedes and the impact they have on the local ecosystem. Either way, everybody have a great night.
Yeah, I've actually put it in the timestamps. Let me read these supers and we'll be done. Stephen OG Xbox, thank you so much for the $5 super. Says, what's up, Colt Mag? Xbox has amazing games this year, and I'm so excited. What games are you excited about the most? Besides Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm going to say, since I've said so many things, I'm going to add Judas as one of my excited games. What about you?
I'll be very brief. I'm going to say GTA 6. I'm going to say South of Midnight. I'm going to say Doom the Dark Ages, Call of Duty. Ghost of Yotei is at the top of the list too, because Ghost of Tsushima was one of my favorite games of last generation. Ghost of Yotei. What else is there? If they release Fable, we'll see.
Mafia,
Fable.
the Old Country.
Mafia 4 is absolutely near the top of the list. Borderlands 4 near the top of the list. So it's going to be a hell of a great year for great games. So and those are the games we know about. There's still outliers like Split Fiction is coming out in March. We've got Little Nightmares 3 is coming out somewhere in the mix. Little Nightmares is one of my favorite series of all times. So a lot of great games, man. But those are the ones that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yep. Bull Superfan. Yeah, there's so many. Bull Superfan with the $2 says, Mag, have you heard anything about Fallout or Obsidian for Fallout?
No. Nothing about Fallout. Not a word. The only thing I know about is the production of the show. I know about that because I know what's happening with the show. Well, I can't talk about that.
Yeah. Remember, right in the chat, Variety, if you want to try and win the Variety Super Pack of 4XP Gaming, it comes with these pouches you can mix with the shaker and water for energy. Shout out to them. Ecstasy 2025 will get you 20% off your order. Chris with the $5 super says, this is wishful thinking, but could one thing mentioned be a big drop of Activision games to Game Pass? I've purposely been holding off on Tony Hawk. I don't think there's going to be a big drop, but I think Xbox is going to speak up about Activision games coming very few and far between because they want to piecemeal that and push people to stay on Game Pass, and they're not going to do anything cool because they're kind of jerks that way. But that's it. Meg, I'm starving. I have to go to the bathroom. I feel like there's stuff crawling on me. We've had a great show. Tell everybody where to find you. I've got your link in the description to go sub to the Mag Show.
Thank you. First of all, I'm going to read one more super chat at the very end. Danny Passion Official drops a US $2 super chat. He's saying the 5090 is going to be $2,000 USD. I can absolutely see that, if not more. Yes, you could find me on the Mag Show. I actually changed the keywords. It's actually easier to find. You could put the space Mag Show and it will show up. I tried it on other people's phones just to see. I'm like, give me your phone. Now. Yeah, I took people's phones. I'm like, give me your phone. And I typed in the space Mag Show being one word, and it showed up, and it was right then and there. So
it is.
Go sub to the Yep, there it is. Go sub to the channel. Check it out. I'm going to be doing some more live streaming this week. I'm going to be doing some more Astrobot. I'm going to be doing some more It Takes Two with the boy. And then on top of that, I'm going to be streaming Space Marine 2. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Warhammer. I'm going to be streaming that with my wife. as we do our segment called "Till Death Do Us Part." So I'll be doing that, and then at the same time, I got a friend of mine from Ukraine is working on some of my my opening artwork and video intros and outros for the channel, and of course, thanks to Colteastwood for the wonderful logo that he created for me, which of course my our dear friend in the Ukraine is actually going to be working with that logo and creating an intro and outro for the channel, so I could do actual commentary videos. So we'll be doing that as well. But either way, that's where you can find me, the Mag Show. You can find me on Twitter, of course, Middle-Aged Game Guy. You know where to find me, and you will find me here every Monday night Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. on XNC.
Thank you. Yeah, and you've got 362 subscribers.
Thank you.
Danny Passion Official sends a $2. So they just announced the 5090.
Oh yeah, because the show's on right now.
Oh, they announced it at CES, I guess.
The show's on right now.
And you know how many suckers are going to go buy that thing? Save your money and get a 5080. Dude? Yeah, it is $2,000. The 5080 is $1,000. Seriously, if you're a gamer and you want to get into PC gaming, buy the 5080 card for $1,000. It'll be half the price. And look at the performance differential. 5080.
Holy shish kebab. That's $2,900 Canadian.
Yeah.
So that's almost $3,000 for a card. And people are bitching about the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, according to this, the 5070, the lower end card, has the 4090 performance for just $550.
Whoa. And get out of here.
I will tell you this, as a PC gamer and an Xbox console gamer or whatever, you could absolutely build a 5070 PC for that amount of money and get unbelievable performance that would blow the skull off your face.
That's a deal, man. That's a deal. That's a deal. 550. I'm just like, that's actually pretty damn good. I can't complain about that.
Yeah, they're saying the 5090 is 2 times the power of the 4090. But holy cow, for $2,000, like you're building yourself a $5,000 PC fairly easily there.
Yeah.
Holy crap. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me add this into the
Noof, long time no talk, dude. And yeah, I don't know. Tony Baloney will always be around somewhere. Yeah, Skillet Will, you're not wrong, dudes. 3K Australian dollar dues. It's Australian dollar and Canadian dollar are pretty much on par. So yeah, it's about the same. So it was like $2,900 Canadian. So pretty bang on, but that's insane. But anyways, go eat, dude. I gotta go too. I gotta go to bed.
Thank you, everybody. You can also comment the word variety if you're watching the show after the fact, or once we hit the button and it goes, the live is off. You can write the word to get entered into the for the variety pack for 4XP. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. We're gonna get out of here. Mag, great show as always. I'll see you in a week, bro.
Yeah, man. See you guys all next week. Have a good one.